Hey guys, it's that cosplay guy Michael again. Welcome to episode 3 of my ongoing quest to find out the hows, whos, whats, wheres, whens, and whys of cosplay, cosplaying, and cosplayers. Today we're going to be talking about cosplayer jobs and cosplay types. So hopefully this will not go too long. If it does, well, hopefully you'll learn something from it anyway. Another list. Here we go. Got my paper. Got my coffee. Still good coffee. It's a bit cold this time, but it's episode 3. Not as hot as it was in episode 2. Alrighty. We'll start with cosplayer jobs. Amateur cosplay jobs. These are cosplayer job classifications. Do not receive living wages for their cosplaying. It doesn't mean they're rookies. Not by a long shot. It just means that they do not get paid for their cosplay and costuming activities. That's what I mean by amateur. Again, not rookies. Some of these guys are seasoned veterans. They just don't get paid because they just do this for... they love it. It's a good hobby. They do it for fun. Alright, number 1, the casual cosplayer. An individual who dons minimal articles of clothing necessary to give the impression of a character or concept they wish to portray or homage. This could be they wear a Yoshi onesie. They could wear a shirt and a tracksuit themed after Goku's gi. They could be wearing their hair in Sailor Moon's signature meat bun heads and stuff like that. Classified as cosplay. It is a homage to the character, but it's not the character's full costume and stuff like that. They could be, the person wearing the Serena's meatball head could be just wearing a white t-shirt and a blue skirt, and that's... their hair is just the costume and stuff like that. So anyway, casual cosplay. Next, Disney Bound. Disney Bound is actually an interesting one. It's one of the... they're also known as Bounders. This is a fashion movement that was created as a way to cosplay as a character at theme parks. Developed around about 2015. It's actually one of the newer cosplay trends. It was developed when Disney came up with a law that cosplay in parks, theme parks, are not allowed. That way, normal people, cosplayers, are not confused with the actual professional entertainers and stuff like that. And it makes sense. So, but cosplayers still want to dress up in costume with their favorite characters and stuff like that, pay homage and whatever. And so they decided to wear an outfit inspired by their character instead. So it's normal wear, normal fashion, or high-end fashion. Anyway, it's not a costume. But the colouring and pattern of the articles of clothing that they choose to wear is thematically set to the character that they want to portray, stuff like that. So again, it's classified more as a fashion movement than a costume, because it uses real life fashion and clothes. Standard cosplayer, well, that's just standard cosplay and stuff like that. People like me, like other cosplayers and stuff like that, dressing up in full costume, going to conventions, appearing on TikTok, doing YouTube channels. Hi. Yes, individual who creates or buys a costume with the intention of visually representing or expressing a character or concept through wearing it. We have a live action role player, that's a LARPer, an individual who intentionally takes on the personality and mannerisms of a character other than themselves. So, in addition to wearing a costume, they will take on a character persona. So live action role playing. So they might put on So, like, in the cosplaying world, a LARPer would be like someone dressed up as a Joker. Just be a standard cosplayer if he was just, yeah, talking like this, like me. But a LARPer, well, a LARPer would put on the whole Joker-esque character, yes. And, you know, take the personality just a little too far. But yeah, anyway. But also LARPing can be the medieval reenactments. Well, not just medieval, but, you know, Civil War reenactors and stuff like that. The people that reenact battles, the people that go to Renaissance fairs and stuff like that, dress up in medieval gowns and Robin Hood and musketeers and stuff like that. They are also known as LARPers, or live action role players. We have amateur cosplay models. Okay, this is an individual who wears a costume for the purpose of visually portraying a character or concept through photography or film for personal reasons or means. There is a lewd variant, however, it should be noted that not all cosplay models do lewd work. So these are cosplayers that don't necessarily go to conventions or do group meets, but their primary world or realm is photos and film and stuff like that. So you'll see a lot of their stuff on Instagram profiles and TikTok and stuff like that. But again, the amateur cosplay model is someone that does not get paid for their work. They do not. These ones do not have media endorsements or the like. Some of them might have OnlyFans accounts and stuff. Again, lewd work, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Amateur cosplay models. Okay, we have the amateur cosplay streamer. Pretty much like the amateur cosplay model, except they work on streaming services like YouTube and videos and TikTok. Without monetary endorsement. They do it for the fun. And we have competition cosplayer. So this is a cosplayer that creates and buys costumes primarily for the purpose of entering into competitions and competing against other competition cosplayers. That's their thing in the cosplay world. They go into competitions, while some cosplayers might just go to conventions and stuff like that, and wear their costumes in the halls, or at the stalls and stuff like that, and just mingle around through the actual convention. The competition cosplayer goes to conventions specifically to compete in the costume competitions. Yes, and these competitions some of them are judged based on how the costume is made and the seamstress work and the workmanship of the costume. While other competitions are based on the competitors' acting ability or singing ability. Less on the costume itself, but more on the performance. So yeah, different costumes for different competitions. So yeah, there we go. But again, competition cosplayer, aside from the prizes at the end, I imagine, competition cosplayer does not have endorsements and does not receive money. That is for the professional cosplayer jobs. So these cosplayer job classifications receive a living wage for their cosplaying work and consider cosplay as a job. So we have the cosplay champion, the competition cosplayer who has won more. A competition cosplayer who has won one or more prestigious competitions. They are considered a celebrity in the cosplay community, which we know them as cosplay famous. So yeah, these competition cosplayers have won competitions and they might have endorsements. Okay, professional cosplay model. An individual who wears a costume for the purpose of visually portraying a character. You're noting the theme here. For photography or film for professional reasons. Again, these models do lewd work or adult material. However, it should be noted that not all cosplay models do lewd work. So again, these professional ones, they do get paid. Also, professional cosplay models might also work booths at conventions. So a big thing in conventions like E3, huge video game conventions and stuff like that. Some of the booths, especially the big ones like EA Games or Nintendo or Sony, they might have booth attendants dressed up in character costumes and stuff like that. And these attendants are known as professional cosplay models. They are hired to represent that character and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they are provided the costumes they wear, but well, the essence is that they are paid models to do a job, represent the character, represent the company, work the booth. So yeah, professional cosplay models. Professional cosplay streamers, same as cosplay models, with monetary endorsement. They produce videos and streaming services on TikTok and YouTube. Okay, we have the charity cosplayer, also known as cosplayers. That's right, they do it for the cause. Cosplayers. These are individuals who create costumes primarily for the purpose of attending charity events and not-for-profit fundraiser events. So these guys don't earn money for themselves, but they do work to earn money for whatever charity organization they are working for. So you might see a Spider-Man walking around with a Save the Children collection cup and stuff like that. That is a charity cosplayer. Some of the big Star Wars cosplay groups out there, the 501st, is a huge charity cosplay organization filled with cosplayers. They visit hospitals and stuff like that, in character and stuff like that. So if a hospital wants Darth Vader and some stormtroopers to visit some sick kids and stuff like that, they hire these cosplayers to pay a visit, and in turn the cosplay group will ask that the hospital sends their money to a donation of their choice. And so yeah, cosplayers, they're true heroes of the cosplay world. Okay, we have the maids and butlers. Now the maids and butlers cafes are prominently in Japan, but they have been popping up quite frequently in the geek culture worlds. Conventions, most anime conventions now feature a maid and butler cafe as part of their draw. So anyway, a maid or a butler is an individual who dons a character costume as part of a work uniform. They will also take on the persona of a maid or a butler and stuff like that, and they will serve the patron who is dining at the cafe at that point. This concept was created in Japan. It's pretty much a themed cafe. Alright, we have three more professional cosplay jobs. However, these ones are older. These ones fall under another classification of professional costumer. Okay, these classifications are similar in nature to professional cosplayers. However, these professions were developed before the emergence of the cosplay era. These professions were developed during the fan costuming period of history, which, if you've watched the first episode of my collection of videos, you will understand the periods of history: the masquerade, the fan costuming, and cosplay. These job classifications were developed during the fan costuming period. Okay, and yeah, the people that actually work these jobs do not like to be referred to as cosplay players. They actively prefer to be referred to as costumers. At the very least, they feel that cosplaying is a bit, well, kiddish for what they do. It's an older profession. It's an identity thing. So, yeah. Anyway, so first one up is party entertainers. An employed individual who dons a costume of a character for the purpose of representing that character at celebrations of various natures. At the risk of being insulting, pretty much like a party clown, except that the theme's not a clown. It's a pop culture character. The Spider-Man fan culture, costuming culture, the Spider-Man. That's one of their biggest things, is as party entertainers. The Disney princess costumers group. Yeah, so from attending tea parties and birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, anything you want. There can be store openings. I myself personally has been a Spider-Man at store openings. Various movie cinema outings and stuff like that. So in my case, I've had to attend all of the latest Spider-Man movies as Spider-Man. So yeah, and I had all the kids coming out spoiling what happened to me at the end of Endgame. So yeah. But yeah. So party entertainers. Okay, park entertainers. Should be a no-brainer for park entertainers. These are the people dressing up as the superheroes, the park mascots, and everyone's got to stay in character inside a theme park. Park entertainers. Employed individual who dons a costume for a character for the purpose of representing that character at a theme park. Then we have the mascot. Employed individual who dons a costume of a character that represents a professional entity, in this case a team, a business, or otherwise. So the easiest example would be, that's right, sports mascots. The sports team mascots that pop up during every huge sporting game. Bouncing all around as live entertainment in these big bobble-headed suits. So yeah, those are the mascots. Yeah. So again, party entertainers, park entertainers, and mascots prefer to be known as professional costumers and not professional cosplayers, mainly because they self-identify as being older and more professional than what the term cosplay implies. Again, it's an identity thing. So, not to hate, if they want to identify that, that's fine. Other job classifications in the cosplay world. Okay, we have a cosplay fan. That's an individual who is a fan of cosplay and follows cosplay media and culture, but does not create or don costumes or costume pieces. So maybe they have various reasons why not to want to. Maybe they're not that kind of personality. They don't want to be in the limelight, but they do like watching the pretty colors and pretty costumes and people playing characters and seeing their characters come to life. Coffee. Cosplay fan. Cosplay researcher. Individual who researches and studies cosplay culture, or an individual who researches fictional media and conducts experiments to bring items or concepts from fictional media into the real world. Example, replicating food and drink recipes, replicating weaponry, tools, or vehicles. We have a cosplay medic. Individual who attends conventions and get-togethers carrying tools and items for the express purpose of mending other costumes that attend the conventions or get-togethers. So, they might have fun with it. They themselves might be dressed up as a medic. But yeah, these are the angels of the pop culture conventions. They wander around helping out the other cosplayers and stuff like that. If a cosplayer has a rip in their costume halfway through a convention, they can find a medic. Yes, it's a video game term. They will find a medic and the cosplay medic will stitch it up or put some masking tape over the top for at least a temporary fix to hold their costume together until the end of the day, at the very least. Okay. Then we have a cosplay minder, also known as a wrangler, a handler, a chaperone, a best buddy. This is an individual who attends to the safety and the needs of another cosplayer or costumer. They may or may not be in costume themselves. As I go into the cosplay costume types, some of these costumes actually demand the need of a cosplay minder. Just for the sheer fact that the person inside the costume will not be able to see, hear, or do anything without someone trying to help them be in their blind spots, etc., etc. So cosplay minders will also might carry the cosplayer's gear, like a bag, like bare basics. They might be carrying the cosplayer's wallet because the cosplayer's costume might be skin tight spandex with no pockets. So, you know, this is why I call them the best buddy, cosplayer's friend. Park entertainers will normally have at least one or two minders, or I think they're called wranglers, at theme parks and stuff like that. They help tend to the safety of the park entertainer if there's an overzealous guest, or just to help keep the costumer on time to certain areas and stuff like that. If the costumer falls ill, the minder or wrangler will tend to their needs and stuff like that. Most common thing is especially the ones in the mascot suits like Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse. They might succumb to dehydration, which is a very easy thing to do out in the middle of the midday sun in those costumes. The wranglers are supposed to look after their health and safety. Another job classification, it's not really into cosplay, but it's more of a symbiotic relationship, is a photographer. Cosplayer and a photographer. A photographer cannot have a photo of costumes with a cosplayer, and a cosplayer cannot have photos without a photographer. It's, again, symbiotic relationship, but not really a type of cosplayer, but definitely a kind of job. That should be worth noting, at the very least. Those are all the cosplayer jobs so far that I've noted in the wide world of cosplay. Next on the list is cosplay creator types. Yes, there are various types of ways to create cosplay, and I'm about to list some of the ways right now. While new methodologies for costume creation are discovered with the advent of every new technology, we're looking at you 3D printers. The following is a list of currently known methodologies that cosplayers currently favor or specialize in. Number 1, we have fabrics, also known as seamstresses. These cosplayers are famed for their sewing skills and ability to make dresses and garments and other soft parts from scratch. They possess knowledge, skills, and equipment in sewing. They will occasionally run businesses specializing in sewing and seamstressing, just to take advantage of their skills. Next, we have the builders, also known as crafties. These cosplayers are famed for making props and armor pieces from scratch. They possess knowledge, skills, and equipment in handcrafting. They are known for prop creation and small to medium-sized suits of armor. They will occasionally run business specializing in prop creation. Then we have the armorer, a division of the cosplay builder, except that while the builder specializes in props such as weapons and small to medium-sized armor, such as Halo suits or Stormtrooper armor from Star Wars, armorers Armorers will specialize in creating large-scale armor. I'm talking about Warhammer 40k. I'm talking the Autobots from Transformers. I'm talking about full Ava suits, Gundams, huge. So some of these suits, they will not be able to fit through a normal sized door. I have absolutely no idea where they store their suit pieces. More research required. These guys are impressive. And it's not just the guys, but the girls do it too. Cosplay is not gender exclusive. Armors specialize in creating large armor, full mech suits, and weapons and armors that exceed human height. Alrighty, fursuiters. That's right, a division of fabric workers that specialize in creating costumes known as the fursuit. Usually interchanges with mascot creators. Next, mascot creators. A division of fabric workers that specialize in creating costumes known as mascot suits. There is a distinct difference between a fursuit and a mascot suit. A mascot suit is primarily designed to be seen from far away. So the details on a mascot suit will be large and obvious. And not so heavy on the miniature details. A fursuit will be extremely focused on the minute details because they are designed to be very close, personal, interactive, and stuff like that. Some of the fursuits are actually mechanized. The ears will move, the tail will move, the eyes. Some of them, the snout actually moves too, and will have a vocal. Most mascot suits, again, are not built focusing on personal interaction, and so they will not have those minute details. Okay, we have bodybuilders. Okay, also known as fitness models or fitness nerds. These cosplayers not only focus on building their costume, but also focus on physically building their own bodies to match the visual appearance and fitness level of the character they are portraying. This is becoming more and more a common necessity for those that want to have a job as a cosplay model. So yeah, especially with all the superhero movies coming out, stuff like that. The demand is that you have to have a hero body, a hero physique. So muscles and abs and biceps and awesome backs. So yeah, but again, these guys and girls are fit as it's common. So like some of the cosplay fandoms groups actually specialize in it. It's like the Dragon Ball Z fandom groups, cosplay groups. I'm gonna have to come up with a better name. The Dragon Ball Z fans, cosplay fans, build themselves up to be as muscly and strong as the Dragon Ball Z characters. The Spider-Men and Spider-Girls as party entertainers. Some of them are actually called to do the Spider-Man poses, and they will have to do backflips and be agile and cartwheels and stuff like that. So they too will be classified as bodybuilders. Okay, moving on. The construct mods. Cosplayers who build, construct, and modify vehicles and large display pieces to assist in their cosplay. Examples will include like huge prop displays of the Batmobile, speeder bikes from Star Wars. I know that at one instance there was a 1-to-1 scale. No, it wasn't 1-to-1 scale, but a large TIE fighter was made for a Star Wars group. A new trend, well, not a new trend, a modern trend right now is that people are converting their electric scooters and hoverboards into like the Goku's flying Nimbus cloud and the magic carpet from Disney's Aladdin. So yeah, it's that kind of stuff. These are vehicle and construct mods. We have the pulp culture cook. So again, an individual who researches and creates recipes for the purpose of recreating foods and beverages seen in pulp culture media. So if you want, these pulp culture cooks are the ones that will create the health potion from your favorite video game. If you play Elder Scrolls, the pulp culture cook will create a sweet roll for you to steal from someone and eat yourself. So okay, and these three final creator types is the traditional ones. The woodworker, traditionally known as carpenter. These cosplayers utilize traditional craftsman skills in woodwork to create props and costumes from wood. We have the metalsmith, traditionally known as blacksmith. These cosplayers utilize traditional craftsmanship skills in metalwork to create props and costumes. And the leather worker, again, traditionally known as a tanner, utilize traditional craftsmanship skills in leatherwork to create props, costumes. The leatherworker, metalsmith, and woodworker are most commonly found in the reenactment crowd. Renaissance fairs and stuff like that, where they specialize in being as authentic as possible, where the costumes are actually made of leather, the swords are actually made of metal, and the armor is also made of metal, and something to do with wood. I don't know. I'm terrible at this. Well, the coffee is still good, so who can complain?